How are you? Hi, very nice to meet you, Mrs. Lonegan.
Tom the Mayor.
Go ahead, Mayor. John? Okay. How's that? Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm Tom Kelleher. I'm the mayor of Toms River, and I wanted to be here this morning. Thank you. To welcome everybody. What a great occasion here for Toms River. These type of ceremonies are one of the fun parts of being the mayor, to be able to welcome to Toms River some great celebrities who made a name for themselves in public service in the state of New Jersey. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought they were calling me. There's too many mayors up here. We have to thin the crowd out a little bit. But one of the pleasures I have this morning is to introduce somebody who we all know, who has been such a friend of our folks here in Toms River and this community, and that is our Congressman Chris Smith, who has been a long-time member of the Congress of the United States, who, you know, champions so many worthwhile causes of human nature, human relations, slave trade, and all of these other wonderful programs. And he has been a tireless worker. I've had the pleasure of knowing him for many years. Even for years I was chairman of the hospital here. He was a great help whenever we had any needs with respect to medical issues. So it's a hot day out here. I could make a 2-hour speech, but I'm going to take this opportunity to just say, please welcome Congressman Chris Smith to Toms River.
Mayor, thank you very much. And it is a great privilege to be here today to join my good friend and new Senator, Jeff Chiesa, in endorsing Mayor Steve Lonegan, who has really shown himself over the many years to be a tireless campaigner against reckless spending. You know, we've seen an increase in the deficit now. We're now at close to $17 trillion, $6 trillion of that under President Obama alone. We are mortgaging the future of our children and our grandchildren and putting at grave risk the creation of jobs, the sustainability of an economy that is robust. And Steve Lonegan has been outspoken as state chairman of the AFP, Americans for Prosperity. He has been a very effective voice for years in pointing out that it is absolutely unsustainable to carry such a debt and to exacerbate it each and every year, as President Obama has done. He has also been an outspoken opponent of Obamacare, which the Wall Street Journal wisely pointed out. And Steve was a very early and very articulate spokesman in pointing out the egregious flaws of that now law, which is only now going into effect in its entirety as the exchanges and as the taxes begin to pile up. The Obamacare, even the Chicago Tribune has run a series of editorials, and one of them, the most recent one, is called The Part-Timing of America, where the incentives have been created to end employer-based health care as we know it, to limit full-time employment, whether it be at the municipal, state, or government levels, as well as in the private sector. Steve Lonegan was pointing out these flaws as this horrific law was being considered, and for that he has been, my gratitude and the gratitude, I think, of all New Jerseyans. Even legislation or the basic and essential health care that's provided to over 100,000 New Jerseyans, according to a recent story, are now at risk because of Obamacare. The often stated disinformation by the president himself that if you like your health care as it is, you can keep it. Nothing could be further from the truth. People throughout the state, throughout the country, will very quickly find that a plan that they had, much of it employer-based, will be gone. Maybe not immediately, but over the medium and intermediate and longer term. Finally, Steve Lonegan has also spoken out against very, very serious attacks on your Fourth Amendment rights and mine. The NSA is out of control. I voted for the Patriot Act back in 1998. I was the prime author of the legislation called the Embassy Counterterrorism Act, which was a landmark law on combating terrorism worldwide, and especially using our embassies abroad to protect Americans everywhere. I voted for the Patriot Act. I voted for the 9/11 Commission, and was one of the leaders that helped create it. What is happening now, as Tom Kane said so eloquently, the co-chair of the 9/11 Commission recently in op-ed, what is happening now was never envisioned, that every American, everybody here, every one of us, are having our emails, certainly, but our phone calls right now perused by nameless bureaucrats. That is not, that is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. Steve Lonegan has spoken out persuasively, and I believe in a very articulate way, about why this is an overstep, and then this surveillance state cannot continue. So it is an honor to endorse him. And let me just finally say, in introducing our new senator, as Attorney General, a great friend of all of New Jerseyans, of course, and as interim Senator Jeff Chiesa has spoken out himself on horrible issues like human trafficking, which the mayor mentioned a moment ago, and it is my privilege to introduce our current sitting Senator, Jeff Chiesa.
Thank you, Congressman, and good morning, everybody. You know, the morning after Mayor Lonegan was the victor in our Republican primary, I had a chance to speak with him. And during that conversation, which was the following morning, he was, as he always is, full of passion and full of energy, and he was describing to me what he was going to do that day. And he was literally going from the top of New Jersey to the bottom of New Jersey. Just listening to his schedule exhausted me. But you know what? What I've realized in the short time that I'm in Washington is that if you don't send somebody there with the will to combat what's going on, the same things will continue to happen over and over again. And what we can agree on here is that we have a spending problem. Congressman Smith just talked about it. He's been fighting this for 30 plus years in Congress. And I know in the 2 months that I've been there and the remainder of the time I'm going to be there, I'm going to fight against it. Because just like the families in New Jersey, we can't as a country spend money that we don't have. And when you listen to Mayor Lonegan talk about this, you watch what Mayor Lonegan did for his community in Bogota as the mayor. He held spending in check. Not because he didn't want to help people, not because he wasn't interested in improving people's lives, but because he understood that the only way to really improve our lives is to make sure that we spend what we have and we spend it smartly. And we make decisions as a country that put us in a position to be strong, put us in a position to be respected, and put us in a position to continue to do the things that we've always stood for. And so I'm proud to be here today to endorse Mayor Lonegan and hope that all of us here will enthusiastically get out, as I will do, as Governor Christie will do, as Lieutenant Governor Guadagno will do, and make sure that people understand that we need to send a fighter to Washington, that we have a fighter here standing behind me, and that when the election comes and we send Steve Lonegan down to Washington, he will continue to fight for all of us here to make sure that we don't spend money that we don't have. So, Mayor Lonegan, thank you for inviting me here today. I enthusiastically endorse you. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, folks. Senator, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with Congressman Chris Smith and for that outstanding presentation. Congressman, thank you very much, and thank you very much for your support of life. That's so important. And I want to thank the mayors, Tom Gallagher, my good friend Walter LaCicero, because it's these men and women, the mayors, the councilmen, the state legislatures, who are on the front line of democracy, on the front line of limited government, which is the most responsive to the people. President Obama doesn't get that. President Obama, I have some shocking news for you. Just moments ago, President Obama endorsed Cory Booker for U.S. Senate. I know we're all surprised to hear that. But President Obama and Cory Booker don't understand what local government is. They don't understand what government of the people, by the people, for the people is. They believe in big government, large government, bloated government, expansive government, massive debt, more spending, more entitlement programs, more government programs, more Obamacare, more intrusion into our privacy, more intrusion into our education. That's what this election is about. This election on October 16th in the state of New Jersey is not just an election that will deliver the first Republican U.S. Senator in New Jersey in 41 years. election is a referendum on the Obama agenda. It's a referendum on Obamacare and choosing into our health care decisions. It's a referendum on the NSA abuse of power, the ISA targeting certain groups. It's a referendum on the federal takeover of education. It's a referendum on the federal government that is crushing local governments and, at the end of the day, individual liberty. New Jersey. New Jersey, the crossroads of the American Revolution. Folks, I remind people all the time that more battles were fought in New Jersey in the Revolution than any other state. That it was in this state on Christmas Day, 1776, that the tide of the revolution changed, and that New Jersey would lead in delivering the freest and most prosperous nation the world has ever seen. So it is only appropriate that this year we're going to cast a vote on what our Constitution and our Bill of Rights means to us. And I know what it means to us. I see the energy on the ground, the passion, the commitment by men like Congressman Chris Smith, by our acting U.S. Senator Jeff Chiesa, by our mayors, and by you folks across Toms River, Lavalette, Brick, Ocean County, Bergen County, all of the counties of New Jersey, stepping up to the plate, because the next 8 weeks are going to be the most dynamic 8 weeks New Jersey's seen in a very long time. And I cannot tell you how honored I am and how proud I am to be working shoulder to shoulder with Governor Chris Christie. His endorsement yesterday was more than an endorsement. It sent a message to the whole country. We are united as one team, from top to bottom, from the governor himself down to local elected officials, to grassroots activists, to individual Americans, understanding what's at stake here in the state of New Jersey. We're going to send a message to the rest of the country. We're tired of Barack Obama's lies. We're tired of his lies about the health care system that's going to undermine our health care profession and our economy. We're tired of the lies about the NSA intrusion into our privacy. We're going to put America back on track, starting here in the state of New Jersey. We're going to set the tone. We're going to set the agenda for the Republican takeover of the U.S. Senate in 2014, right here in the state of New Jersey, with your help and with your support. So, folks, Senator Chiesa is holding down the fort in Washington, D.C., with other great leaders and holding the line against Obamacare and all the other intrusions and growth of government. Well, he's holding down the fort because reinforcements are on the way. And October 17th, when I go to Washington, because you get sworn into office the very next day, I will be escorted into the Senate chambers under the protocol of the U.S. Senate by the sitting senior senator from New Jersey, Bob Menendez. We look forward to that day, bringing historic change to the U.S. Senate and historic change to the state of New Jersey as we do more than elect a Republican U.S. Senator, as we put America back on track towards liberty and prosperity. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.